Hey everyone, welcome back to Latrell Talks with Latrell R. Morris. That's me. So I'm back after a week-long vacation. Last week was my birthday on May 30th, and I needed that vacation, so that was a good thing for me. Yeah, I had a good time. I was happy to see my mom and my sister. They took me to New Orleans and we stayed at the French Quarter. We walked around Bourbon Street, French Quarter, French Market. And I have to say, last time I was in New Orleans was probably about 4 years ago, so it was like a year pre-pandemic, and it just feels different. It looks different. It feels different. Now I could be wrong, but comparing it from 4 years ago to last week, it felt and looked different to me. It definitely looked like there was a little more chaos, or I don't know, a little more destruction. And it wasn't like big, it was subtle. It was definitely, from what I saw, it felt like there were more homeless people on the streets in the French Quarter. It was a lot of mm, bodily fluids on the street, and the smells were not great. I don't know. I guess one too many hurricanes came along, and things just, I don't know, just didn't feel the same. But I still had a good time. It's just maybe, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't live in New Orleans, so I can't tell you what's going on there. I've only visited that was my third time going, so I can't really say, but yeah, that's just my observations. But like I said, had a good time and was great seeing my mother and sister. So on to today's topic, mental health. So as you know, the last episode I talked about therapy and my a little bit of my mental health state. And recently I saw a video on TikTok where this woman was discussing how, you shouldn't wear a bonnet out in public, which, I mean, I don't understand why anybody else cares. It's not you, but we'll get into that. And then she mentioned something about, if you go out of your house looking unkempt, that means you have a mental health disorder. And I want to say that, speaking from experience, that's not always true. There were times where I dressed up, looked down to the nines. I mean, I looked so good. And I was hiding because I didn't want people asking me about my mental state. And I just, I put on a brave face. I was smiling. I'm known for saying when I'm feeling down, even though people might not know it inside, when I'm feeling down, I'll say, "Oh, I'm okay. I'm fine." I'm that AKA strong friend. And, people just think I'm fine, but deep down, I'm really not. And I've heard before people say, "Well, you don't look like anything's wrong." So, this whole idea that if you go out in pajamas, you go out in a bonnet, stuff like that, you go out just not looking presentable, then that means your mental health state is not good. It's not the case. Sometimes I just want to be comfortable. Because I'll tell you right now, I will throw on a hoodie and some leggings and put my hair in a hat and I'll be okay. I just want to be comfortable, and I'm not trying to get dressed up to go to the grocery store. Like, come on. Let's be realistic here. To add on to that, the lady saying this was a black woman. and she was saying how we need to go outside of our house looking presentable, so people won't think, oh, it's that black person. And it these respectability politics really do my head in. Somebody is somebody's going to be racist. Well, a white person is going to be racist against you regardless. Because if I can recall, back in the 1960s, during the civil rights era, they were wearing suits and dresses and they looked good, and they still had the dogs sicked on them. They still had the hoses sicked on them. I mean, why? I just don't understand this whole thing where and when I say we, I mean black people, have to appease the gaze of white people. All of this is rooted in white supremacy. How we should be professional at work, how we should look at work. I mean, our hair. I mean, there's laws about us not being discriminated against because of our hair, because apparently an afro is unkempt. No, that's how it grows out of my head. How is that unkempt? That's how it grows out of my head. And obviously, someone thinking that a afro is unkempt is either racist or rooted in their white supremacy ideals. So we really need to be careful as black people of the things that we think are professional and where this opinion is coming from. And like I said, respectability politics is it's a beast, and they are rooted in white supremacy. Because it's like white people make the rules and then everybody think, okay, well, they made the rules and this is how it should be, when it's not like that. It shouldn't be like that. Just let people live. Why are you worried about what the next person has on? It feels like also an insecurity. You're so worried about what somebody else thinks about you or people that look like you. Meanwhile, let's just be honest, their house ain't clean. That's right, I said it. Their house ain't clean. Yes, I said ain't. And I'm going to continue to say ain't. But yeah, it's really gotten out of hand. It's really ridiculous. I don't care if you wear a bonnet out in public. That don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not going to wear a bonnet out in public. I'm going to wear it under a hat or a beanie. Yes, but but I'm not going to wear it out in public, but I don't care. What's going on in your house does not affect me in any way. What's going on in my house doesn't affect you in any way. The clothes I choose to wear, the clothes you choose to wear, don't affect either one of us anyway. So why do I care? Why should anybody else care? Let's just let people be, okay? There are so many more important things going on in this world, in this country, and to break it down, in this state that I'm in, Florida, to be worried about whether somebody going out in public with a freaking bonnet. Whew, now that I got my little rant out the way about that, let's get on to the topic and mental health. Okay, so I must warn that I am not a mental health professional. Some of these things are just my opinion. Well, most of it is my opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. But definitely do your research. I always advocate for people doing their own research and not to take everything that they hear as factual. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm a little skeptical sometimes. So I'm going to look up something if something don't sound right to me. I'm going to look it up. All right. So, as I mentioned last episode, I deal with mental health issues. It is depression. I've had depression. I don't want to say suffer, but I've had depression for a good while now. It was mostly in my 20s. Most of my 20s was just, oh, it was a blur. It got to the point where I used to work Monday through Friday, and on the weekends I would sleep most of the weekend. I didn't have a weekend. My weekend consisted of me being in bed, sleeping, napping, probably snacking, looking at TV, but I didn't have a weekend. So I didn't really go out and do stuff and have fun. Um, it kind of took a change in my 30s. When I turned 30, I made a mental note to myself to go out and explore more and do more things and just try to fight this as much as I could. I seen mental health professionals in my 20s, but obviously nothing really helped me, so I kind of gave up on myself until I got into my 30s. And things did get better, but I felt like my voice was really like held back. It was hidden due to other people's trauma, and I won't say who, but you know, you can probably decipher one or two. Anyway, so I guess in a way, in a sense, making this podcast and writing has really helped to bring out my voice, because I wouldn't have done it a couple of years ago. I always loved writing. I used to write when I was a kid. I have stuff that I'm going through that I'm going to rewrite, revise, or whatever, maybe even release. But then I stopped doing it for a long time. But it has really, getting pen to paper has really helped me to get a lot of stuff out, a lot of frustrations, a lot of emotions, and I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be seen. I have a lot to say that I don't say, and I'm starting to say more of. And I know it may piss some people off, it may turn some people off, and it may bring people towards me, and that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody's not going to like what you have to say, and if everybody likes you, then you're not, this is my opinion, you're not authentically you. Let's just be honest. You're not going to like everybody. So the mental therapy I'm doing now is helping. It's a slow process, but it's helping. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of an impatient person because I feel like I've been waiting on a lot of stuff for a long time, but I am still pushing through. Yeah, it's helping, and I want most people to, well, all people in a way, but most people, I think they should get some type of mental health therapy. And I'm just going to be honest, your friends and family, you cannot continue to dump stuff on them. As somebody who gets stuff dumped on them all the time, I'm saying it's emotionally draining, and it's not fair to them that you dump your crap on them, because I'm pretty sure there's stuff that they're dealing with and they don't want to hear your problems all the time on top of their problems. I know everybody can't afford therapy. And believe there are some things out there that are either low cost or, in a way, maybe even group therapy. If Meetup has anything group therapy, that could help as well. I mean, it's a step, but everybody could benefit from mental health therapy, even if it's just a yearly checkup for those people who have healed, mainly healed, but want to make sure that their mental health is still in a good state. I don't believe in having your partner be your therapist. There are so many people who get into relationships and think that their partner should be the one that helps them to get better. I don't believe that. That's not fair to them. I believe in lifting up your partner, inspiring your partner, yes, but to dump your load, your baggage, whatever on them, no, I don't believe in that. That's not fair. I believe that people should be in a state of healing, not perfect healing, because nobody's perfect. And be honest, we all heal regardless if we consider ourselves healed already. We're always healing from something. But I think that people should be in a good mental state before they enter a relationship. Because, as I said, that is not fair to someone else for you to dump your crap on them. And when I say dumping crap on them, I'm not talking about as far as, let me say, with men. I hear a lot of men say they can't tell people how they feel emotionally. I think a lot of that comes from childhood and how men were beat into them. Oh, you have to be a man. You have to be strong. Don't let nobody see you cry. I'll be honest, my father even had a name for my brother, called him Wimpy. So, I think a lot of men hold back their emotions because of that. And so I'm not talking about, the big stuff like, oh my God, I have so much bottled up inside me. It comes out as anger, or, I can't be this way. I'm talking about being vulnerable to your partner. If I'm with someone and, he's having a bad day, I'm going to be there. If he wants to cry because he's having a bad day, I'm going to be there. Because when I'm having a bad day, I'm going to want that same thing. I would rather a man, for me, show me that side of him than to act like he's all manly and tough all the time and he has no emotions. Because for me, that's a huge turnoff. I don't get stimulated by people like that. That's like, it really makes me feel like you're hiding something, and I don't like that feeling. So that's not going to last for me. That's not going to work for me. I want you to feel like you're human around me, because we are humans. Humans are full of emotions. But like I said, don't dump your stuff, everything on your partner. That's not fair. But if there's something like, I'm having a bad day, or I just got into this little argument with my parent, whatever, or even if you are healed and you want to talk about your past, I want to hear it. But don't expect them to carry your weight as well. So I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but yeah, that's mental health is a big thing, and I will always advocate for it, especially in the Black community where, let's just be honest, most of us need it. Way too many of us need it because of generational stuff that's going on today. How much stuff are we going to have to go through before it's better? My mom's generation, my grandparents' generation, their generation before them, my generation now. I don't have any children yet, but I'm hoping that my children don't have to go through another cycle of fighting for our lives, fighting for our rights, because this is just, it's freaking ridiculous and it's exhausting. And I don't understand the point. Maybe when I get older I will understand, but right now, as someone who talks to the universe, who believes in spirituality, I don't understand. I don't understand. And then I can go into religious things, but I'm a keep that for maybe some other day. But even on that side, I don't understand. When is enough gonna be enough? When is the ball gonna drop? When is something positive really gonna happen? I don't know. So that is it for today's show. I appreciate you tuning in. And I would love if you guys sent me some questions. I want to answer some questions on air or even on my blog, my website, latrellmorris.com. I would love to answer something. But I'm going to be doing more stuff that's outside of author stuff. I have another TikTok page, if you're not aware. It's called Latrell R. Morris Talks. I talk about more real world stuff outside of book talk and writing talk, whatever. So you can check me out there. But I'm gonna do more podcasts for real world stuff, kind of like maybe a journal type thing. And I'm gonna do, of course, writing topics. But if there is something you want me to talk about, feel free to message me. You can send me a message on my social medias. My handle is Latrell Morris. You can send me a message on my website. Even comment on one of my video posts and I'll see it. But as far as today, that's it. And I will talk to you all next week. Have a great week and do something that you're going to really enjoy. Or do something out of the box. All right, bye.